Mmm. Delicious. Welcome guys. Welcome back to Kanani Cooks for video number 3. Today we are going to be making saag tofu. Saag or palak tofu. It is a combination of all these lovely greens. Before I used to only use spinach, but then my lovely husband told me to be a little adventurous. And now we have some beautiful kale and collards from Joy Farms and a bunch of spinach that we are going to be, and tofu that we're going to be making into a yummy, delicious, nourishing meal. So first we are going to take the stems off of the kales. You can honestly use any combination of greens that you have. So if you guys don't have kales, just want to use spinach, you can, but I'd say the more nutrition, the better. So just the thick stems, I'm taking these off. My pressure cooker. We are going to be very quickly pressure cooking these. If you don't have a pressure cooker, you can also just lightly saute them. The point is just to wilt them, and then you are good to go. Okay. I realize this is chard and not collards, mixing up my greens. This one just taking off the stem again and keeping the big leaves. They're orange and they're yellow. So pretty. So when you're pressure cooking this, you're gonna need a little bit water, but not too much water because the leaves themselves have a lot of water from them. So I guess you can drain out the extra water. But I just put like a small layer on the bottom, just so it doesn't completely dry. I've already washed the spinach, so I'm going to add that in here. And it's a big pot of greens. Look, it's almost more than halfway, and you'll watch how small it gets. Putting on the lid, locking it. And then I honestly just give it like one whistle, and then it's usually good. Next step. While that is going, we are going to be preparing the masala of this. I think 1 large onion should be good for this. And everything is going to go into the blender. So once again, you can roughly chop this. It doesn't have to be super small because I'm going to throw the masala into the blender. Okay, so now we are going to make the masala portion of the saag. About 1 to 1.5 tablespoons oil. Let that heat up a bit. And we're going to add the onions first and let them saute a bit until translucent. Generally takes about 5-6 minutes. So that is the whistle going off, and that is good enough. So I'm closing it, and then once the steam releases, we'll open it up. We're almost done, and I'm going to add the spices. So this is going to be 1 teaspoon of jeera, cumin seeds, 2 to 3 dashes of hing, 1, 2, 3, half a teaspoon of turmeric, haldi, and then 1.5 teaspoons of coriander powder, 1.5 to 2 teaspoons. You can start smelling it. I've added about a 1-inch roughly chopped ginger because I'm blending it. Now I am adding tomato paste to the mix. And I'm going to be taking one of these big spoons. Here's one of them. I'm probably going to be using half a can of tomato paste. This is a 6-ounce can. Once again, I haven't added the green jalapenos or the red mirch yet because I save it for the end. But if you're adding it, then I would suggest add your whatever green pepper you like and the red Indian mirch to your taste. It's definitely better when sauteed in from the beginning. Everything is sauteed and the masala is ready. Let's check on the greens. Everything has gone down. I have to unlock it. And if you can see past the steam, it was more than half away and now it's like barely a quarter. Dumping out some of the water. The rest. So now I'm adding the masala into the blender as well. We have been watching a show on Netflix called Mochi and Waffles, and whenever they turn on the blender, they do a blender dance. So today, you might see me partake in a dance right about okay, I have to do some mixing. Okay. A few final steps now. Now, warning ahead of time, this tends to splatter all over the place. So low heat is suggested. So now, on low heat, I'm adding some yogurt. The thicker yogurt, the better. Excuse me. Okay, for this, I'll start with 1 large spoon. It's about a tablespoon and a half. And then, depending on the taste, This should have a little bit of like tomatoey, sour background taste. If you want, is listening to my mom's recording of this recipe, and we were having an argument that she wanted sour cream in the recipe. If you want, you could do sour cream. I do yogurt to have it be healthier. And then I know people use heavy cream as well. I'm going to add salt now. It can be to your taste. I'm starting with about a teaspoon. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of garam masala. And the salt was a little less to me, so add a little bit more of that. In that same pot that we made the masala in, I'm just gonna throw the tofu on here. A little bit of oil. The tofu has now sauteed, browned on all sides. You can do it to your liking, however crisp you want it, but I think this is good for us. Off the gas. I'm going to add it in. Sizzling. To let that cook in, and you are good to go. What are you doing?
Making roti.
Why do you have a bag of corn in your head?
I have a bag of corn in my head?